It'll be a wrap.
All right. Reel it in. All right, what up, people? Welcome back to another segment of Cast.
Welcome back.
Doing something a little different here. We're not going to do an album review today. We're just going to do a little, as what Caps like to call beats, rhymes, and life.
That's
segment.
right. That's right.
Which is basically what, sir?
It's basically your boys, the old heads, weighing in on a couple of topics that affect the hip-hop community, because we're not just an album review, we are a digital vlog, and we're trying to touch we're digital. We're on camera and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and we're trying to touch all the bases.
Yes, sir.
We're trying to show y'all basically how these conversations work in real life.
Yes.
And why should we just be deprived to album reviews?
And Pat, babe, I'm sorry, but I'm thirsty. Wife's always like, don't drink on camera.
You know what I'm saying? I know. So,
This one don't count.
This is like table talk on the stoop, in the middle of the living room.
Chopping it up.
You're playing 2K,
Chopping
or
it
back
up.
in the day, because we old heads, you playing Madden. Like, this is what you do. And then the debate starts and everybody puts their little 2 cents in. So,
To start it off,
little bro is gonna throw the questions out
Yes.
for big bro and see if he bites.
Yep. For the first segment,
The beats.
beats, rhymes, and life.
Yes.
start off light with the topic of Drake and his winner picking ass that seems to just jinx every team that he fucking roots for.
Bro.
I mean, you gotta love it, because the Alabama one was epic.
Bro. By the way, Caps did pick Clemson to win.
Did you?
If you don't believe me, go subscribe to the Sucker Free podcast.
That's right. And to
I
marry this,
I have receipts.
exactly, to marry this, Big Bro has a podcast of, your sports life and debauchery.
That's correct.
Sucker Free Podcast. Shout out to you, Mimi.
7,000 downloads. Thanks, guys.
Holla.
Appreciate it.
Holla. So, this sport thing is right up your alley.
Absolutely.
So break this down for us, please. Our boy Drake and just the jinx in him.
I think Drake, I pray that every team I root for that's in a
picks me up?
competitive state, he just go
He goes against.
for the other squad.
Yes.
I think that Drake is in a position where you're in the public eye and he's a very big entity. I think that he has to always put himself in that forefront. So he has this basic front runner mentality aside from his fandom with Toronto.
Yeah, because he has stocks in it. He owns shares. He has so that one he gets a pass.
He's
on.
almost at every home game.
Yes.
Like I give
That
him
one he gets a pass.
Yeah, I give him that.
Yeah, a pass.
But to constantly
Bro.
throw the bad juju. Listen, it's not coincidence. He must be
Kentucky.
doing something wrong. Maybe he kicking puppies. Maybe he took a lollipop from a little kid. Maybe.
The worst was fucking Conor McGregor, B. I mean, listen. I'm a fanboy, and in reality, I didn't think he was gonna win that last fight. But when I saw Drake behind with the Irish flag, I said,
Nail of the coffin.
Man,
Nail of the
I
coffin.
was like,
Finished. Muerto. No chance.
Well, I was supposed
He
to
mushed
meet him.
you.
Bro,
He must you.
supposed to meet him when the weigh-in. I saw his bitch. I was like, nah, I ain't going. I'm gonna stay home and watch this L, because the dude, he mushed me, man.
He mushed
Like,
him, man. And for those who don't know, that's a Bronx Tale, one of the greatest movies of all time. The Kryptonite
that.
scene. If you don't believe me, go check that out. Hilarious. But I think his heart is in the right place. He's very enthused. But you gotta take a back seat, my dude. If I was on Alabama, I'd be trying to jump him.
Yeah, I'd punch him in his face.
I'd be looking for him.
Real talk. As
I want
shitty
some
as our
receipts.
Knicks are, you ever pull up in some orange
I swear to God, B. It's on site.
on site?
Like you said about Kanye, it's on site. And don't think we didn't hear them bars, won't we? But yeah, I just think that he needs to tone it down and stop ruining fan base's dreams of having success and happiness. He basically pulling the heart right out of you before it even develops, bro. It's fucked up.
Better yet, yo Drake, why don't you rock a Tom Brady fucking jersey this come Sunday? Do us a solid.
I mean, he ain't doing me no solid.
TV the Great, like wear a Patriots jersey this
Because
weekend, please.
I'm a Giants fan, so they don't really have no leg to stand on with us.
As far as the NFL as a whole, though, nobody wants to see them back in the Super Bowl. Nobody wants to see the Patriots.
What if
back
you're
in
from
the Super Bowl.
Harvard Yard?
Well, except for them.
And you charge
with the clam
cod,
chowder
and the cod, and you pack the cod.
Only them motherfuckers.
They want them.
The rest of us.
The NFL wants them too.
Well,
They want them.
No, we don't.
They got the postal boy quarterback. They do.
They can get that in Breeze. They're fine.
No,
They're good. They're fine.
they fucking they looked out for them. They took evidence away, destroyed shit, tried to throw their history under the rug. But that's another story for another time. Make sure you subscribe to the Sucker Free Podcast. Well, we're sticking it to the view. So Drake, take a seat.
Patriot gear. Wear some Patriot
Stop
gear this weekend.
wearing other people's shit, man. Stop. Please.
Next up, we got, which we recently saw about 5 days ago, okay? 5 days ago, Joey Badass on Instagram, and I quote, said my last album was my last album. I'm a CEO now. I don't know what to really make of that, because even after that, my boy just started modeling, just eating food, living his best life. It's like one of them things where, you know, when Obama was officially out of office, and you just had nothing but him just vacationing, and we dealing with Trump. And you just see Obama just having the time of his life. It's like when it like hit me like that, like, yo, this dude is serious right now. He's not dropping another album. I don't know if he's trolling us. I don't know what to make of this, because I mean he's just so early in his career.
I'm gonna be honest. This saddens me.
Frightens me.
No, it saddens me. I'm sad. Because Joey Badass, I think, had the potential. Or I think he still has. I think he still has the potential to be an iconic voice for his generation.
Yep.
I feel like he has a crossover personality, not so much as far as his music. I think for like his personality.
Right.
I think he has a crossover personality where people take notice that are his age.
Right.
So when he talks about certain views, he's really in touch with the people that
his generation,
and
respected by the older ones like ourselves.
So to not have that in the community is a bad thing. And you know, for selfish reasons, I wanted to make another album. You know, I think we 100%. Do as like listeners. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm a huge Tupac Shakur fan. I'm a huge Public Enemy fan. I'm a huge Cube fan. You know, I'm gonna use these as examples. Like, these guys had a way of bringing what was cancerous about our community,
right,
and why it's cancerous, and the vices that create that. They had a way of putting that in the forefront in their music, and people were educated about it.
Right.
And I think that that's something that's sadly missed. I think it's been missing
within this gen.
Yeah, within the music, and there's very creative people. You know what I'm saying? Like, this got nothing to do with skill level things. I'm talking about folks using their platform not just to profit,
right,
but to like really put a stranglehold on issues and bring awareness. I think that's my biggest thing, and I think Joey has that. And for him to not make music anymore, or take a time out, or to say something like he's never gonna make another album, it's foul, especially after that America Badass, All American Badass album. I mean, it didn't get acclaimed for, obvious reasons, but that was an incredible piece of work, and to be looking, I mean, we saw him perform it at the Barclays.
Yep.
And like to see that energy, and to see the average age of the fan, like we were old. I could have brought my nephew to that fucking concert. So right? It's been wigging out. But it's like, I feel it's sad, man. I'm a little.
I think he's one of them dark horses as far as within this gen. Like, you have obviously the front runners of the Kendricks, the J. Coles, obviously the Drakes. I mean, as far as like, notoriety and record sales, but Joey, as far as a lyricist and
he's
content quality, like, he's definitely up there. And even his ghostwriting, like whatever that song he wrote for Post Malone, bitch ass, that blew up huge. Lord knows if Joey sang that, I can't remember the name of that shit, but it would never have blown up the way that did. But that just goes to show his talent. But I'm just saying, how versatile he is, because he can do that bubbly commercial hip hop shit if he wanted to.
He just doesn't want to attach his name to that.
He focuses right. I just sign the check, baby. Sounded check. So
You know,
I mean,
it's-
I think he's trolling us. I hope to God he's trolling us.
I mean,
And just really trying to put it out there because months before that, I forgot, it was a beat he played out. And he said, and he was like, yo, it's coming soon. And then now you fast forward to 5 days ago.
how can you do this to us, Joey?
So I think
How can you do this to us?
trolling us. He might be trolling.
How could you do that, man?
I pray to God he's
Performed at the
trolling us.
Barclays. We was there for you, man. This Cap's public plea. Please tell me this shit is not the truth.
trolling.
Please.
Joey, you trolling. You trolling.
Come on, man. Patricia
it.
Irvin is heartbroken.
She-
She's heartbroken.
so I'm trying, babe. Trying to get him.
We trying to get him back.
Yeah. So there's that. And the most heated and loaded one. And it's already been
The life.
Listen. This life aspect has been touched on heavy, based off of due to the R. Kelly, life story or whatever. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched any. Actually, to experience it live and direct in my late teens, early 20s. And whatever I felt prior to that, like just knowing how much of a creep this guy just might be, outside of just the jokes of him pissing on women and whatever.
It's not
whatever.
a creep. You mean like predator?
Well, now we know how deep it is.
Yeah.
Because when it was just like okay,
think we
he's
kind of-
dating Aaliyah,
Right, I
which
think we
was
kind of
young,
know.
and then
Well,
Sparkle's
not dating.
married. He's like, whoa, damn, how old is this motherfucker? Like, so it's like, whoa, straight fucking creep. And then whatever you, I'm not, was it kink shaming or anything like that? Because if you into, like, I'm not there judging, but a young child's a young child, so there's no wiggle room in that at all. No ifs, ands, or fucking buts. But really wanted to direct the attention on the Dame Dash interview with that clown Nick Cannon and the direction they went with their interview to direct all the attention towards Jay-Z.
Well, deflect.
Well,
Right,
yeah. Well, because I mean, they try to bounce on each other like, oh, well, your man's worked with him, and then, well, you made music with him, and all of a sudden turned it directly to Jay, which to me, I don't know. Like, call me crazy as older and older I get, the tighter and tighter my circle gets. Where it's just like,
absolutely.
even if I'm not beefing with anybody per se,
Absolutely.
I just kind of just stay to myself. Work, come home. Work, come home.
You just know who's there.
And right,
You just know who's there.
Because it's just so crazy to me, like how somebody like Dame, who's worked so many years and made so much money with Jay, could just sit there and just effortlessly, just kind of just put something out there in the earth to like.
Well, he's kind of, first of all, like if you're part of a $500 million company, and so the way that breakup happens, I think a lot of people don't have all the information on how that breakup happens. I think that's the first thing. So I think there's a level of
Bitterness.
I think animosity is the word to use, because I think when you're bitter, your reaction is very prompt right after the action happens. That's just my opinion.
You're trying to burn cars and fucking bust
yeah,
windows. type shit.
and it's taken him a lot of time, in my opinion, it's taken a lot of time for him to slowly address what was going on with their breakup as a label. I think that energy has spilled, just my opinion from observing, I think that energy has spilled into this matter.
Decades later.
Of course, because if you look at it,
Well, a decade later.
we're Caps and Flaco. We become a $100 million conglomerate.
Right.
We have liquor, we have a clothing line, we have a recording contract, and we do these podcasts. We're in media. Somebody comes in and whispers in your ear, you don't need Caps no more. And then you say to yourself, you know what? I don't. And we part ways. And I part with nothing. Now, some people who help
Didn't he
something...
leave him with the record label initially?
No.
They didn't have Rockefeller, Dame, and thing as it was separation, and then
When
he
they
wanted the masters.
No.
And they were like, no.
But when they split, Jay brokered the. Listen, and this is not a knock on Jay-Z. I'm not here to be throwing shade or anything on either party. It was set up in a way that this is your severance for building this company. Thank you very much. Because Jay stuck with the engine part. I think that, right? And then Dame ended up doing what he had to do. Jay-Z is now who Jay-Z is.
Right.
I'm not here to talk about nobody's business. I'm a grown-ass man. Now shift to now. Before this point, every interview you hear with Damon Dash is, yo, what happened with Rockefeller? What happened with Rockefeller? What happened with Rockefeller? What happened with Rockefeller, right? It gets to a point where it's like, when do I say something? And not that Jay-Z has addressed it in a negative way,
Right.
or a lot of people that were involved in that camp, a lot of them don't address it, the experience in a negative way. It's more of, it ran its course, we did what we had to do, right? But I still think that when you're a part of something and you basically like grew something and then you're not a part of it to see it all the way through, I think there is a level of animosity.
So
Right
much
now,
so that you would
so much-
classify
so-
your former
so-
partner
so
as
much so-
a pedophile, like molester too?
Some people
That
do.
level?
That they could.
Damn, Daniel.
They could.
Okay.
You know, I mean, we only know, you know, like at the end of the day, like we only know what we would do in a situation like that, right?
Well, Jay, you fucked up for fucking up with a fuck boy like that, man, because you had to know from Jump Street this dude was a clown ass. And I love the fact that Flex even exposed that other video later, which was from past tense, the way he spoke on Aaliyah then.
Well, Flex was one of the first people. I'm not a big Flex guy.
But focus on the video that he's put on Dash, because that's what the topic is here.
What I'm saying is that in Flex's defense, he was one of the first nationally syndicated DJs that said he wouldn't play R. Kelly's records.
Oh no, shout out to him for that, definitely. I remember that. On the radio, straight up, like, yo, this guy's a fucking creep.
At the height of his career, where it's make or break.
And called him out straight up. True that.
Okay, so I 100%.
Shout out to Hot 97 and Funk Flex for that one, because that's
you understand?
very true.
That's huge.
That's very true.
That's huge. Right, so
but back to that video that he posts and the way that he spoke about Aaliyah and how Aaliyah was could give it up to anybody. I mean, this is candid. Like, this is. Can Dame sit there and say that wasn't him? I wish they would have time stamped when that video was, because the same way, that same energy that he was with there with Cannon talking about how, you let me know.
Well, you don't even
what
have
had
to
happened and da-da-da. It's
well,
like,
no, bro, you don't even have to go that far back, because like right when the documentary came out, he had an interview on his platform and spoke about how Aaliyah didn't want to talk about what happened with her and R. Kelly.
Okay.
And that she just said that he was a bad man and not to.
And keep it moving. Like,
Just keep it moving.
Rehash it.
I don't want to rehash it. My thing is I thought Dame brought up some good points in the Nick Cannon video, but I do think that he contradicted himself.
You think? Especially when Flex exposed it for how he even.
But I'm not even.
How he even looked at Aaliyah.
I'm not even talking about Flex, because if you want to dredge up what Flex is about.
No.
You know,
Specific to
I understand.
Specific to this situation when Dame is sitting there slandering somebody when the topic was totally not about them.
So actually, to me, if you watched the entire interview,
I did.
Nick Cannon was the one.
No, it was Nick. It was Nick. Don't get me wrong, but wasn't it Dame? Tell me what you want. Just say what you want to say. Just tell me, like,
yeah.
Yo,
so
you're added fuel to it.
As the interviewer,
it was Nick. 100%.
So now my thing is this: everything that Dame had mentioned, which I did the fact check, he was not on. He did not executive produce Best of Both Worlds.
Okay.
But my thing is like, okay, so you didn't produce, you didn't take your lion's share of that project, those two projects, but you did the music video.
And Memph Bleak was on, I can't remember where Memph was on, and called his ass out on that shit too, about the tours and about everything. And you weren't in the Fiesta video talking about, I wasn't next to him. Motherfucker, what the fuck you in the video? Why are you even on set?
But even
why
worse,
are you on set?
No, but even
Fiesta was that much of a hit?
But even to carry on, his explanation, this is what I mean about the contradiction.
Oh, yes.
The explanation was, well, I have these other artists on my label,
Right. Well.
and I don't want to mess up their money.
Right.
Okay, now, if you want to say Jay-Z put working with a pedophile over integrity, you can maybe say that. But you being in that music video, in my eyes, my opinion only,
Right.
you're doing the same exact,
Yep.
you're doing the same thing.
And innocent to proven guilty. And I'm not defending R. Kelly, but Best of Both Worlds came out in 2002. R. Kelly went on trial for it that same year. So, are we to give this man a benefit of the doubt before we outright?
I wasn't supporting his projects after that tape.
Okay, well, no,
Personally, no.
I hear what you're saying, and I was definitely respecting, especially now, hindsight 2020. I tip my hat to you because I was one of them that wanted to just sit there and say, like, let's hope that this ain't the case. Then you see the video, then you know, like, yo. So, project was done already per se.
Well, let me just say, Caps didn't purchase albums.
Right.
I'm not gonna sit there and say I wasn't in clubs.
Exactly.
And these songs are coming on, and you see the way the vibe is with people. Like it's just with that. Like I just think that there was a lot of good points, but there was a lot of contradiction.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because the other thing about that interview, if you listen to the whole interview, Nick Cannon brings up Mr. Weinstein, and Nick Cannon said, "But didn't you guys own a club together?" So the two of them invested in a club. He said, "But didn't I call him out every time I saw him?" That may be true. No, that may be true. But you're still in a business that's profiting.
making money off of this. Yep.
That's where I kind of like felt like there was a big contradiction with what he said. I did think that there was a lot of teeth with what he said though. But that kind of, to me, in my opinion, that kind of like whitewashes your point.
Because like I said,
it's like cooking a steak.
There's no giving Dame Dash credit anymore to me, in my opinion. He's maybe a successful businessman or whatever. Well, during Rockefeller, before Rockefeller, after, God bless. But there's something about the code and an integrity and just what. And like to me, he's just an opportunist and. He will get out there and just say whatever. Like, yo, if I got nothing nice, my mother always told me, you ain't got nothing nice to say nothing at all.
It's crazy because like
keep it pushing.
When was the Breakfast Club interview?
2 years?
When he shouted out DJ Envy?
Was that last year?
I thought
Well,
like
18,
that interview
17
was
maybe.
incredible because he didn't bring up Rockefeller. He was basically picking apart the people that were on that show.
Right. Telling them how they were all slaves and how they were all whatever.
When they're asking,
like, just belittling little people because we didn't have the business savvy as him. No, because they have bosses. You got a boss. I'm my own boss. My son's his own boss. I know how people that talk down on other people like that. You're not as big as you think you are, fam. Because you're still hungry and searching. Because every chance you get to get on the camera to spit whatever to say how great you are shows how little and how less you do actually have. Fuck out of here. He's a clown, bro. I can never defend. Yo, focus on that.
I get your point of view. I understand your point of view.
Because yo, he straight up tried to belittle them on their own choice. He got to come up to their segment to do what he got to do. So he's a clown. But like I'm not even. And shout out to Flex for posting. I'm not a big Flex fan, but I love the fact that he exposed the fucking truth. Shout out to Memphis for exposing that dude yet again. He's a fucking clown. But the underlying factor, and me as, once again, I was 20, 22, however old I was, right? So I'm just young, dumb, and full of cum. So it was what it was. I'm up in the club. I'm just trying to get my shit. So it is what it is. But now we fast forward now, and I have a 6-year-old daughter. And things are just, I got my binoculars are just totally different. Just the way I see things is just completely different. And one thing that was always accepted in our community, I'm just talking in the city, I don't know what happens in the suburbs, but I'm gonna just tell you something right now that we both witnessed. The baddest chicks in our high school, from sophomores.
Excuse me, stop. Junior high school.
Bro, there you have it. But let's be real. From junior high on into high school, always were picked up by some old ass motherfuckers with whips. And hence this is why they're more mature and women develop faster than guys, And this shit was always accepted. You would hate, because you know you can't compete with this grown-ass motherfucker working.
You mean
really working, and I'm in high school.
You mean value meal money and a Metro card?
Hey, so they bless them with J's too.
No, but that can't get you.
Oh hell no! Oh, but I got a swipe. I got what? I got a swipe for you, boo. I buy them cookies real quick. My mom's gave me a little extra.
You can't get no cheese on that burger, but if you want to go get you want to share a milkshake?
It's like the culture of this older men with younger like girls, like, because it's not to say like if you're say just putting numbers out there, you're 24 years old woman and you're a couple years older dude or whatever, but you're a woman at this point in time in your life. When you're 17 and low 18, 19 even, like okay, and down running around with grown ass fucking men with mortgages, it's almost unfair to them. And I don't listen. I'm not one to. I don't know what that is. I'm not one to experience it, but I just know, like, I think we need to figure out a way to just swing that and call these motherfuckers. I don't know what. Even as young boys in high school, like, call them dudes out when they pulling up. It's like, yo, just call a spade, because there's a lot more low-key R. Kelly motherfuckers that we live with and harbor and just allowed to be in our day-to-day because we call them uncle or a big brother. You watch that motherfucker because it's funny style, man. They out there, you know, just
I don't know,
manipulating young girls.
Somebody pulling up in their little drop top and snagging all the girls in my grade is not my brother. Secondly, I think that this culture is something that has been going on for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Generations and generations and generations. It's just that this time, this energy, you know, this time of society, a lot of those barriers are being broken down, and you can't. Those days of getting away with that kind of shit is over.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's being brought to the forefront. The other thing I will say is, folks that were under that belief, that are under that belief, and you know they wake up and change their scope, or they don't want to support R. Kelly's music, or they want to continue to support his music and hold on to this point of view. There's nothing wrong with being wrong.
Or to justify why you're...
There's nothing wrong with saying, yo, you know what? The guy is a scumbag. The guy is a predator, and me supporting his work contributed to these actions being done. Me doing that financed
him personally,
financed this fuckery that went on. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with saying I was wrong. There's nothing wrong with Chance the Rapper saying I should have never worked with him.
Didn't his streams go up like 16%?
Of course, because his name is in the public eye, and people that support hold on to this nostalgia. See, that's the problem. Listen, people.
Can't make this shit up.
Nostalgia is one of the worst forces of life. Because what ends up happening is you guys hold on to this idea. You hold on to this idea. And in this case, this idea is terrible.
Oh, in particular. Hells yeah.
It's terrible. There's no explanation. There's just none. There's no defending the guy.
Nah, he's a predator. Through and through. He's a predator. He's a predator. There's no ifs, ands,
or track where the information's there. Now, for you to continue to support him, you are continuing to enable this type of behavior. That's all. There's nothing wrong with listening to his music growing up. You know what? This was my song. Like, I get it. I love The Cosby Show. It's not on the air anymore because of what happened to Bill Cosby. But that doesn't mean saying, yo, Nick, you know what? Yeah, that show's not on TV, but I understand why. And there was no bigger voice when I was a young kid. There was no bigger voice for any person of color. Nobody was depicted as a person of color, as a married couple who both had great careers.
Successful.
You understand? So it's like, yeah.
They destroyed our first ever.
Yeah.
They took that shit, was like, nah, I stay in the hood. Stay separated and have multiple baby mamas.
So it's like the nostalgia factor. You need to really look at the facts and look at the things that are presented to you and formulate your opinion. Because if anybody, especially a person who has daughters, buys tickets or downloads his music or buys his music, know that you're continuing to finance this guy's behavior. That's it. And those folks before him, the Dame Dashes of the world, the Jay-Z's of the world, the Funk Flexes of the world, y'all were a part of that at some point in time.
Hot 97,
any radio station,
Kiss FM,
any radio station, you
105
guys
in New
were
York.
a part of that.
Yeah.
Just own up to it,
WBLS.
accept it, and move forward.
Yep.
That's it.
And I think for the most part, most radio stations have, at least that I listened to for the past week and change, a lot of the big names, they all
Tom
went
Joyner,
up
who was
there
the biggest,
and said like, yo,
yeah,
bang.
but it took him like 2 years ago to take his music off.
No, but just owning it as
sure.
as a thing, like saying like, yo, we knew what we knew, and we kept on. We're fucked up for that, and like, damn, you know. So I think going forward, there's next to no way.
It's just not gonna be tolerated.
Yeah,
It's just not. And if you fucked up and you have receipts for your fuckery, you're going down. That's just the climate. That's just the climate. You know, and honestly, rightfully so. You know, like it's you can't. It's a human rights issue.
absolutely, 100%. We gotta take care of our little girls, man. Plain and simple.
And and I'm gonna say another thing too. Where the fuck were the parents, bro? You guys are foul. You guys are fucked up. And I know that some parents are single parents and they don't have but those who aren't, and this shit happens, like, come on. Like, let's all be accountable.
Right. Nah, I'm definitely not gonna.
This
sit
in
there and try
no
to
way
defend them.
reflects how Caps and Flaco feel about R. Kelly. I'm just saying, let's all be held accountable. That's it.
All right.
Just saying.
This is our first segment of Beats, Rhymes, and Life.
Correct.
I hope y'all enjoy it.
Yes.
Let us know some other topics throughout the weeks.
Sure.
If you want to hear us debate about,
Absolutely.
vent about,
Yes. Talk about. Keep the chatter going.
cry about.
Yo, listen, keep the energy. Don't let this be a flash in the pants 3-week story and then you motherfuckers don't keep that energy. Keep your foot on their throat, bro. You understand?
Oh, man.
That's what I'm about.
And most importantly, stop making stupid people famous.
That's correct.